So I'm back in Nelson from Cranbrook, staying in my dad's house while the van is still in the shop. I was actually supposed to pick it up today. That's what the mechanic told me when I was in Cranbrook, so a few days ago. And he's now moved that when I called him today to be either Tuesday or Wednesday. The problem is that I need to be in school in Cranbrook again Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning. So that's less than ideal for me. So I called him and I let him know that, and he said that he would work on it Monday and Tuesday. But I'm not filled with confidence that he's actually going to deliver that because this mechanic has been just a series of delays. I'm basically running into a situation here where I might be faced with having to do this whole camping experiment again. I don't want to do that. There were some things I liked about living out of the tent in Cranbrook for 4 nights. I liked being so close to nature. There's a big difference between sleeping in a tent and sleeping in the van. I found that I went to bed sooner, and that was actually kind of nice. And I liked I don't know, it's a very different experience, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. I didn't enjoy having to pitch a tent every night and then really early in the morning waking up, taking the tent down, getting changed, washing in the cold. And it was pretty cold at night. I didn't take a measurement or anything like that, but yeah, that part wasn't great. It's not enjoyable when you don't have the time to really camp, when you have to set an alarm, when you're really not able to enjoy the locations that you're staying in because it's just a place to sleep and then get up in the morning. I talked with the mechanic yesterday, and he told me that he would be ready late this afternoon. Today is now Tuesday, and I have to be in Cranbrook for school at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow. Hopefully, this is my last day staying in this suite. I talked with the mechanic yesterday, and he told me that I'd have it by late this afternoon today. Today's Tuesday, and Wednesday morning at 8:30 I have to go to school in Cranbrook. So hopefully I get the van and I'm able to drive it there this evening. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm not putting this in as a certainty until I've driven that van off the lot of the mechanics. In the meantime, though, I do have to go downtown and run a certain errand. There we go. What do you guys think? Bit of a new updated look to go with the new haircut. Okay, so it's around 2 o'clock and I've just picked up the van and keys from the mechanic. They've done most of the work, but not all. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go pick up my stuff, load it in, and start going where I need to go to Cranbrook, basically. I've heard that there's some accident with leaking gas on the highway that I need to take to get there, so it might be delayed. And so that'll be my focus now. Once I get there, I will fill you in with the situation. Okay, so I've just gone back to my dad's house, gathered all the stuff that I had here, threw it in the back. Nothing's organized, things are just a bit of a mess back there. But now I'm ready to hit the road and get going for Cranbrook. I'm just on the ferry crossing Kootenay Lake, and ever since I've picked up this van, well actually ever since I came back from vacation, there's been this funny kind of musty smell in here, and I was worried that maybe I got mold or something, maybe from not having enough airflow. Everything was sealed up when I went on vacation. Anyway, I found out what it is. It's not that. I forgot to empty the garbage before I left, and yeah, it's pretty bad. So soonest chance I get, I'm dumping that. But I've tied it up for now. It's just in a plastic shopping bag down there below there. Yeah, that was bad. I ended up driving in dark, which is not something that I like to do. My eyes are very photosensitive, so when oncoming traffic comes towards me, it's pretty difficult for me to see what's going on. But I didn't want to pull over because I knew that I had to be up in the morning and at school. So I just sort of pushed through and got myself into Cranbrook. It was fine once, I got there and there's street lamps and that kind of thing. And I just sort of parked in the parking lot of the school so that when I got up, I could just go straight to my first class. After that, I had some errands to do in town, and I had sort of noticed on my drive that even though they'd replaced the suspension so that it should have been equal on both sides, there was a little bit of a difference I was noticing in the drive between the right hand and the left hand side. Well, it turns out that the outer tire in the back had a flat. So I'm not entirely sure when I got that, and there was no point where I felt myself getting a flat because there was that other tire there, which just sort of kept going. So I actually brought it in just to replace air in the tires because I thought that that would be necessary. And when I pulled that in, so I was looking at the other side, I was looking at the left-hand side, the passenger side, and it looked like it might need some new air in the outer rear tire. Well, it turns out the other one had a flat, so I needed to get that repaired. And they actually did that. They threw that in. They didn't charge me for that, so that was actually really nice of them. I've gone to Cal Tire every time, and I guess they decided to do that one for free for me, so that was really nice. So I've got a patched up tire, and that's a lot safer now. What I wanted to go over right now is what the mechanic actually did to this van. He replaced the two spring packs in the back. They were cracked every time the suspension really got used. You'd hear this really loud clanging sound, and that's gone away. So that's a big safety improvement. And then the power steering has been, the steering box, all that has been fixed. Two things that didn't get fixed were the windshield wipers. And with that, he thought it was a problem with the motor. When he got in, my motor is fine. My steering linkages are apparently not. So I'm going to have to get more of those or figure something out and fix those on my own. And also the e-brake cable is something that I wanted fixed, but that didn't get fixed because apparently I've got the cables and I've got the, I kept those from the mechanic ordered them and I have them now. But on the right hand or left hand side, I can't remember which, the attachment mechanism is missing apparently. I haven't been underneath the van to actually take a look at that because it's been raining. But as soon as it does, I will get under there and try and figure out exactly what I need to order. There's a couple other things that got fixed. I seem to remember I wanted the brakes looked at. I'm not seeing anything about that here, so that might not have gotten done. The big thing with this, though, is that, the time that they spent on it, he only billed me for 9 hours. But some of the other parts that he hadn't mentioned added up. So I ended up spending about $4,701.33 to have the springs, spring packs put in, and the power steering replaced. And then I also get the e-brake cables to do on my own. So that was about the price that I was quoted for the whole thing, and only really about half of it got done. I'm not super happy about it, but so that's after tax. So I should probably say before tax, $3,635. So yeah, I mean, I'm not that experienced with going to the mechanics. I didn't have a great experience with this mechanic. The quality of the work seems fine to me as far as I can tell. The steering has massively improved. I don't hear the clanging sound. The suspension's a lot smoother, so that's good. Maybe some people can tell me whether I got ripped off or not. I'm not really sure. What I would especially like to know is what to do next. So if anyone has any advice for me for replacing my steerage linkages, the mechanic said that the linkages are no longer being manufactured. However, I have yet to go on and check mill supply or anything like that. I will do that.
And then also, if anyone has any experience with attaching the e-brakes or anything like that, like the part that I need, like I said, I will go underneath the van once it's not a puddle under there and check that out. So that's my next steps for the van. One thing that I still have to do, though, is address my backup camera. I really want it to be on when the vehicle is on and not when the car is actually in reverse.
So I've wired it up properly this time, and it's hooked up to the lights which illuminate the license plate. So when this light comes on or off, that'll turn the camera on and off. The monitor is still hooked up to the key. It might be nice to rewire the monitor so there's only one thing I have to do, but for now this is fine. This is going to help me when I'm backing up into a parking spot, or even just in any parking spot pulling through, being able to see. I found it actually just only being in reverse to be a big detriment.
So that's going to be a huge help to me. Just being able to see back there once I'm parking, that's a big improvement. I've still got some work to do, but right now I've really got to focus on my schooling. So not entirely sure when the next video will come out, but there will be a next one, folks. Cheers.